Oh yeah! Alrighty, what's up everybody? It is I, Peter Joseph here, your Tribal God of Extreme, back again with video number 2! Video number 2 on your Sunday afternoon, April 6, 2025. Thank you all for watching video number 2 right here on the former home of the Gilmore Chronicles, now known as the Evil and Dark Shadows Lair 2.0. And this is episode number 65 of the Shadows Lair 2.0 series. Thank you for watching. Make sure you like the video, hit that subscribe button down there in the Shadows Lair, otherwise known as the description box below on this channel and my other channels as well. Show your love and support. Leave a comment on the video if you like, but don't leave stupid comments. You're going to get sent to that Shadow Realm where you'll be placed in an Iron Maiden. And then after that, Satan will eat your soul. So please do not do that. So be respectful or get out. Simple as that. Follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Share the video all over the internet. And don't forget to tap and slap that fucking bell. Turn on all notifications so you don't miss anything. Because if you miss anything, you need to get sent to that Shadow Realm once again. Get slapped in the face with a barbed wire bat. And then Satan will eat your soul, and then you'll be pretty much SOL. And you better know what that means, or Satan will, well, you won't want to know what happens after that. So, if you don't know what it means, look it up beforehand. And that's pretty much all I got to say about that. And if you're brand new here for the very first time, ladies and gentlemen, and you like what you see, please hit that like button. Tell your friends about the channel and my other channels as well. Share the video all over the internet, and hit that like button, stick that thumb straight up everybody else's buttocks, and then pull it out, put it in their mouth until they gag. And that's pretty much it. And when you do subscribe for the first time, if you're a first timer here, welcome to the party, pal. We hope you enjoy the ride. You sit back, you relax, put your feet up, grab yourself a nice cold one, and enjoy the show. And that's all I gotta say about that. If you like it, great. You don't, go on your boring channel and try to do better, because you're not. You can't. And that's all I gotta say about that. Alright, it is Sunday afternoon, April 6, 2025. The sun is out after a little dreary day here in the Northeast. There's gonna be raining cats and dogs tomorrow, though. It's gonna be cold as fuck up until Tuesday, and then back up to about 65 degrees by Easter week, by the time we hit, the days before leading into Easter. So, gotta get through this week. It's gonna be up and down with the rain and the temperatures. It's not great, but it's April. Pretty soon we'll be talking about May. It's like 70, 80 degree weather, and then, when we get to June, July, and August, those great summer months, we'll be talking about some 80s, some 90s, maybe some hundreds. Hopefully we won't be talking about hurricanes and severe weather and all that other good shit. We'll be talking about going to the beach to see those ladies with those thong bikinis. Oh yeah, the boobies popping out, blah, blah, blah. Having fun. Talk about baseball and all that other good shit. So we're 2 weeks away from Easter. Next weekend is Palm Sunday. That's the trolls' favorite holiday, as always. Of course, that's all they can get is their palm these days. And that's it. We move on with that. But I hope you had a great weekend, everybody. We started the first official week of April tomorrow. We got Monday Night Raw tomorrow night. We got Dynasty coming up in about 2 hours with the pre-show. And then the main show 2.5 hours away from that, at 8 o'clock. And we'll see what happens with that. A great card. I'll get to that in a minute. And we will move on with that. I'm going to try to get this video done quick, because I am going to be going out with the missus for an anniversary dinner, and I have a friend's birthday party to go to. So, it's just not the same. It's pretty much, I'm going to the friend's birthday party, but it's at a bar in the city, and then we'll be watching Dynamite, and then we'll be hanging out with the friends, maybe do some I don't know if we're going to do any karaoke tonight. My voice is kind of shot, so maybe Rosa might, but we'll see what happens with that. We're just gonna have fun with my good friends, and then I'm gonna watch the pay-per-view, come home, and go to sleep, and then maybe get the business done, if you know what I mean. But we'll see what happens with that. Depends how me and the missus feel. Because we couldn't do it last night because we were like, forget it. We were both hammered. We can't have hammered, it wouldn't feel right. It's not right. We were just too tired to even do it. We were like, ugh. You want to have drunk sex, Shannon? No? Okay. I'm too drunk, Shannon. I'm not drunk. Yeah, you are. Alright, we got that. Alright, but hopefully you had a great weekend. Sunny here in the Northeast right now. This late afternoon. And I hope you had a great week. And that's all that matters. And I hope you have a great Easter coming up. And that's that. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, check out my AEW Collision review down below in the description box on my Killer Demon channel. So check it out. Give it a like, give it a thumbs up, and all that shit. But right before we get to the pay-per-view, it is time. On episode 65 of the Shadow Slayer series, I'm Peter Joseph, your gracious host. The tribal Godric screen, there is none higher than me. Not even Roman. But I am a content creator to talk about the wonderful world of professional wrestling or whatever the fuck I want to talk about. If you like it, great, get out of here. Go fuck yourself. And that's that. Alright. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, on episode 65 of The Shadow Slayer, it is time for another predictions video, and it is time for your official AEW Dynasty, or for you people that are watching in Australia, and I know you are, AEW Dynasty. Alright, AEW Dynasty, I believe this is their 4th edition of the show. Actually, it is the 2nd year. I don't know why it's 2nd year. I thought it was 3rd year, but anyway, moving on with that. But another year of Dynasty, and we're going to be emanating from the Current Center in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. That dump in Philadelphia. So, we got that. Alright, let's get to the matches. We got 12 matches total. So that means 10 matches official on the main card. 10. And 2 matches official as of right now for the main show, for the pre-show. But, Tony Khan, who'll add something during the night. But, as always, I'm taking this from the Wikipedia page, and let's start off with that. Alright, so, 2 matches on the pre-show. We're going to start off with Max Caster in an open challenge against the ever-popular TBA. Well, I don't know who's going to be the winner tonight. I'm hoping it's Josh Alexander. But anybody who's going to be facing Max Caster is automatically going to win, so that's your automatic win there, so get that. I would like for it to be Bowen, so Bowen can come out and wipe the floor at Max Caster, but we'll see. See what happens with that. Hey, I mean, they're in Philly, so it could be the Sandman. That would be fun. Maybe RVD. They're in Philly. It ain't gonna be Sabu. Maybe it's Rhino. Maybe. So we can gore him to death. We'll see what happens with that. Alright, also on the pre-show, we got a 6-man trios match. We got Nick freaking Wayne, and teaming up with the Crew, that's Action Andretti and Leo Rush. This came about from Collision last night. They take on AR Fox and Darius and Dante Martin of Top Flight, with the lovely Leda Gray at ringside, most likely. And we'll see what happens with that. Alright, we saw Nick Wayne last night get involved at the end of the match, where AR Fox tried to save Darius and Dante from a 2-on beatdown. But then Nick Wayne comes in, he hits Wayne's World on AR Fox, to lay him out, and now this match happens. I'm going to go with Nick Wayne and the Crew to get the win. Not that I give 2 fucks about this match, but we get that. Let me move on. Alright, so that's the 2 matches on the pre-show for now. There might be a couple more added on, but we don't give 2 fucks. Alright. Now, I don't know the order of the card, so I'm just gonna run it down from from bottom to top this time. I'm not going to go from top to bottom. Alright, so we got the start of the men's and women's Owen Hart 4 Cup. So let's get to the men. Let's do the men's matches first, because there's only one women's match on the program. Alright, so for the men, we got Kyle Fletcher, the Proto Star, taking on Mark Briscoe. And as always with Mark Briscoe, we pay homage to the man upstairs, his brother Jay Briscoe. Reach for the sky, boy. Alright. Another tournament that Mark's in. You think he's going to win? No. For a guy that should be winning tournaments. But Fletcher's going to win this one. And I think he's on a collision course with possibly facing Will Oceanspray. I don't know if they're in the same bracket. Or I think Kyle might be on the right side of the bracket. Let me see. Maybe I do have the brackets. Let's see here. Do I have the bracket with me? No, I do not. Okay. I thought I did. But in any case, we move on with that. So I'm going to go with Kyle Fletcher to pick up the win. And that's that. Then the other men's Owen Hart Cup quarterfinal match is going to be Will Oceanspray. Reach for the sky. Whoa! Bam! He's going to be taking on Kevin Knight, who replaced Jay White, who got injured by the Death Riders, broke his hand, so he's going to be out for a while. He was out the tournament. So this should be a pretty fun match. Lots of high flippy DVD-doos. But I think in the end, we're gonna get Will Oceanspray to get the win. And I think he will take on Kyle Fletcher in the semis, and then we get the Hangman and the wild card, whoever that is. Which might be Josh Alexander, we don't know that. We'll see. And we'll see what happens on the other side of the card. Or the bracket. But I think we could see Will Oceanspray take on Hangman. Hangman wins at Double or Nothing. And I think Swerve would win the belt tonight, so... we could get Hangman Swerve again. But this time, more is at stake, except their lives. And, it's the AEW World title. And I think Hangman Adam Page will win in Texas. He's not from Texas. He's a cowboy, but not from Texas. He's from Virginia. So, I think by the time we hit All In on July the 12th, we have 3 new champions. Swerve will win tonight, and then I would assume that Hangman will win the tournament in May, and then by the time we hit July, I think Hangman will win the title, and then we'll go into Forbidden Door, and then who knows what happens with that. But we could see that. Then again, we could see Oceanspray win the tournament. I don't know. We'll see how it goes as this plays out all the way until I believe the finals. The quarterfinals will be the finals will be at Double or Nothing. I believe we'll have that. All right. Then we go to the women's side, and the only match on the pay-per-view is the CEO. Philly! Say hello to your CEO. So we got Mercedes Moné, Mercedes 4 belts Moné, still, right, as of now, still the TBS champion, the New Japan Strong Women's Champion, unless otherwise told, because she will be defending that belt at Resurgence. That's the New Japan event coming up, I think, later this month. Hopefully she loses it. Don't know to who. But she's going to be taking on Julia Hart from the Hounds of Hell. And, we had a little preview last night on Collision. Julia teamed up with Athena, who's in the tournament. I forget who she's facing. She should win that match easy. So I think in the semis, we're going to get Mercedes and Athena, because they're in the same bracket. And on the other side, I think we're going to get Chris Statlander and Jamie Hayter, which Jamie Hayter's taking on Thunder Rosa this coming week on Dynamite and Collision. And Jamie Hayter and Billy Starks as well. So we got that. And then I think Athena will be, she should have that match either on Ring of Honor TV or on Dynamite or Collision this week. So that's what I think the semi is going to be. It's going to be Chris Statlander and Jamie Hayter. And then And then probably be Mercedes Moné and Chris Statlander in the finals at Double or Nothing. Chris Statlander beats Mercedes finally, and she goes on to either face Toni Storm, Megan Bayne, whoever is the women's champion by the time we hit All Out. Probably will be Toni Storm. And we'll see what happens with that. But as far as Mercedes Moné and Julia Hart goes, I'm going to go with Mercedes Moné to get the win, and that's pretty much it. Alright, then we got some titles on the line. Let's go to the AEW World Tag Team titles. We got the Hurt Syndicate, Bobby Lashley and Shelton Baby, Shelton Benjamin with MVP, taking on Big Cass and Brian Keith. There might be an appearance from Maxwell Jacob Fartknocker, trying to still want to get in, maybe. But I think it won't even help. So I'm going to go with the Hurt Syndicate, retain the titles, and that's all I got to say about that. Moving on. Alright, then we go to the Ring of Honor World title, surprisingly, on this pay-per-view, and not at Supercard. Alright, title versus mask. We got Chris Jericho, Le Champion de Nueve. Probably will have Big Cass and Brian Keith at ringside, who knows. He's taking on Bandito. And, remember they fought on, I think it was on Collision, and Jericho retained, and then at the last event, at Revolution, during the pre-show, they had that altercation where Jericho stole Bandito's brother's mask, that's Gravity, and then Bandito got it back, and then Chris Jericho's like, well, I want your mask now, and now we get this match, which I really, this should be at fucking Supercard of Honor. It makes no sense to have Ring of Honor titles on a AEW pay-per-view. Tony Khan. So anyway, I'm going to go with Bandito to win. If he doesn't win, I'm going to be fucking pissed. I mean, not that we've seen him without the mask before, but I have, but you haven't. But we move on. Alright, AEW TNT title on the line. No time limit, no outside interference. There has to be a winner. Danny Garcia, like dancing fool, taking on the guy that I'm wearing the shirt tonight for, and that's Adam Cole, baby! Cole's basically beat him twice. If it wasn't for STP's outside interference, it wasn't for the time limit. But now, no time limit, no outside interference. There has to be a winner. And I'm going to go with my boy, Adam Cole, baby, to win his first official AEW title. And he's going to become the TNT champion tonight and hopefully hold it for a very long time. Now we'll see what happens with that. So I'm going to go Adam Cole, baby, to get the win. Check something. Okay, I got to really finish this off. AEW World Trios titles on the line. Rated FTR, Cash Clock Wheeler. Daxie Axe Harwood and Adam Edge Copeland, taking on Claudio, Pac, and William Yuta, the Death Riders. I'm going with the Death Riders to win because I think Rated FTR are going to split up. FTR is going to disband. Sells itself right there. So I'm going to go with the Death Riders to retain there. AEW Intercontinental title, Kenny by God Omega taking on Ricochet and Speedball Mike Bailey. Going with Kenny to retain there. But we'll see what happens with that. AEW Women's title match on the line. Timeless Toni Storm. Darling! Chin up, chin up, chin up, tits out, watch for the shoe! Alright, Timeless Toni Storm takes on Megan Bayne. Now before it should be at ringside. Luther will be at ringside. It's going to be a hard-hitting match. I think Timeless Toni Storm is going to retain somehow. By either DQ or she's going to pin Megan Bayne straight up. I don't know. We'll see what happens with that. So Timeless Toni Storm will retain the AEW Women's Championship. And that's it. And what should be the main event for the AEW World title. Jon Moxley taking on Swerve. It's getting personal. Glass is going to be used. This match is going to be bloody as fuck. But it's not going to be at ringside. I bet you the Death Riders will be involved. I think in the end, in Philly, Swerve will retain, not retain, we will win the title for the second time. Hopefully this Death Riders faction goes bye-bye, because I'm sick of it. And that's all I got to say about that. So that's my predictions, everybody. And that's all I got to say about that. Leave me your predictions down below in the comment section. And that's pretty much it. Alright guys, I gotta go. Enjoy the pay-per-view. I'll be back probably tomorrow with your review. And that's it. Have a great rest of your evening, everybody. Until next time, peace, motherfuckers!